So you made your quarterback decision today, we saw, and how was that received, I guess?
Received good. Those guys they're good teammates. We want to be unified in the QB room. Sonny does a great job of leading that room, and there's going to only be one guy that plays, and there needs to be a lot of eyes on the sidelines helping that guy, and a lot of encouragement and support. And I don't have any reason to believe there won't be. So that room, I think is, they're competitors, but they're also Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Can you tell us what the competition for the backup spot looks like?
Yes, Henry's number 2, and then Donovan and Barron are going to keep competing for reps, and whether that's 3 or 2 or whatever it ends up being, but they're going to continue to compete.
How do you facilitate that, given that once you get in the game week prep?
That's tough.
Obviously, is it a 2/3, 1/3 thing? I mean, Donovan and Barron don't get. Do they get any game prep reps with the team?
That'll be very, very little. So yes, that always is a challenge for every coach and every offensive coordinator to continue to get your backup quarterback reps, whether it's the 2, 3, or the 4 guy, and they get them whether it's in one-on-one, it's skelly, it may be a developmental scrimmage. There's a lot of opportunities like that may not be with the ones that those guys have to find ways to get better.
Any update on Sir Roderick?
Basically, he'll be a game time decision. It'll come all the way down to the wire next week. We'll see how he does next week.
Is there any update on Wooden's waiver status?
No, not yet.
When you looked at the film from Saturday, what did you see on film that jumped out at you that you did not realize in real time?
Well, when you word it like that,
or who stood out to you? Who had a good scrimmage that you maybe?
The guy that keeps flashing is Philip Blitty. Keeps showing up in the backfield, whether it's against the 1-0 line or the 2-0 line, and he plays hard. He knows one speed and plays with a high amount of effort. Continues to improve. I thought Jalen Hutchins had a really good day. Was in the backfield a little bit. Eric caught the ball well. Had one drop. Mason had a really good day. Those guys kind of come to mind first on offense.
On the other side of that, from the 2 scrimmages, especially from this last one, what are some big things that you wanted to work on and focus on this week?
Well, this week is, we're trying to build it up tomorrow to where we get a volume, it's kind of like a game in terms of the amount of practice tomorrow and the amount of running. And then we'll taper off a little bit in the next couple days and then start with Houston prep. Already started a little bit, putting some Houston stuff in, not a ton yet. But I just think sharpening up on some special teams, some game situations, into game situations, some things like that.
Speaking of special teams, you got your weekly kicker update for us?
I don't today.
What did you think of both of them this weekend? I mean, Garibay, I guess, missed that one field goal.
Yeah, I thought they kicked off well. They both kicked off well. I think I'd like to see us be a little bit more consistent in field goals, but anything inside of 43 yards, which is right on the edge of the red zone at 25, we want to be 100% in. So we have a high standard, and we don't want to drop that right now.
Back on Sir Roderick for a moment. So has he had that X-ray and scan that you referred to last week?
No.
Hasn't had it yet.
No.
Okay.
He'll be all the way to a game time situation, game time decision.
Back on the scrimmage on Saturday, I know he's farther down the depth chart, but Bryce Ramirez, to my untrained eye, made a couple of tackles in key situations, or made a couple of plays in 3rd down situations.
He showed up when he was out there. He also showed up in special teams, so he's starting to get a little bit more of a role in special teams. So we'll see over the next 10 days if he can solidify a role in special teams where he's at a spot. We've got a lot of linebackers kind of in that same boat, Don, that are 2nd, 3rd string linebackers. We're pretty deep at linebacker that need to really, say, hey, I'm a 2-team starter, and kind of nail down those positions. And we think you ought to be able to start on those special teams if you're ever going to start at linebacker for us. So it's a pretty important thing for those linebackers, backup linebackers and backup safeties.
Speaking of the safeties, has Pearson solidified a spot there? With one of those
Yeah,
spots?
he's going to play a lot. I mean, whether he takes the first rep out there, I couldn't tell you today, Jarrett. I don't know if Keith's made that final decision over there on the secondary, but you're going to see him play an awful lot.
Coach, going back to Tyler, and I know you mentioned it's going to kind of go down to the wire in terms of what you guys were looking at with the quarterback room. Was there something from the second scrimmage or something that just kind of stood out to you about Tyler that really kind of separated him from Henry? Because as you mentioned before, Henry's had a good
He's had a good camp. Henry had a really good camp, but just think Tyler's overall, from his preparation to his performance and the consistency of it, and I just think that's where it was. And I'm proud of Henry. I'm proud of the camp that he's had. He'll, we believe in him. The staff believes in him, I think, and we know. And I've said it multiple times. He's come off and won games for us in this league, so I feel very confident there.
Any of those other guys that didn't play in the scrimmage, TJ back at practice?
Yeah, just like I said, after the scrimmage, they were all just being held out, very precautionary.
Spartan was back too.
Yeah, yes.
Got time for about
Is
two more.
Spartman more, is he gonna play more X or more Z?
He could play either one.
And at X, the other day, noticing Trey Cleveland and Geiger. What's the competition like for the starting job there? Do you know? If you had a game this Saturday instead of next Saturday, who would start at X?
They play 50-50.
That's the same thing at cornerback too. There's been healthy competition there.
It has. Adrian Fry's had a really good camp. Rayshad and Malik continue to get better. Malik missing all of spring. He just needs reps. And I mean, more and more he gets better. He got a lot on Saturday with Holden Fields a little bit. And so, we're deeper at corner. We are. We feel good about those four. Feel good about the two young guys, Nate Floyd and Kobe. And again, Nate's a swing guy, can go from cover safety to corner. And Kobe was down for a few days there in camp, just kind of a camp injury. But he's back, and those are six guys that I don't think I've ever sat here and talked about six corners at one time before.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Coach.
guys.
Coach.